Ain't you sick of giving me your money?
Oh, it's... Oh. I know he didn't do it, baby.
Whoa, where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop offs.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Opal Elisa. We are here with our next episode of Black Currency Podcast. I'm again Opal Elisa. I am a director of multicultural business marketing by day for a large financial firm, and I am a poet, MC, author, all of the above by passion. I'll pass the mic.
That's what's up. What's going on, everybody? It's Corey Whitmore, owner and founder of Media 22. Also connected to Studio 22, also connected to Radio 22. I think that may be all the 22s I got right now. Appreciate y'all joining us.
Nice. And we are joined today by Keon Hutson. So welcome to the show. Welcome to Black Currency Podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
nice to be here.
Yes. Thank you. So I will just share just a little bit about you. You're owner of DLK Printing, which was established in 2015. You've got brick-and-mortar, which I can't wait to get into because we talked to a lot of folks who are just online commerce. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that. I know you are also a musician. I know you also have an additional fashion line to that. And I'm sure that there are more multi-hyphenate things and titles that you have. So welcome to the show. We would love for you to kind of kick it off by telling folks, more about you, because you're kind of I've known you from way back, but you're kind of a hard man to find a bio on. You know what I mean? Because you do so many places, but you're hard. I can't just find that one bio. So give our listeners who you are, and give us a little bit of your journey.
Well, my name's Keon Hutson.
Oh, sorry. See, we should just do that whole thing. I legit have like a legit 9-to-5 with this man, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. That doesn't make no damn sense.
I have to correct it because I know people are going to see it. And the intro was so dope. Well, yeah, my name is Keon Hutson, owner-operator of DLK Printing, owner of Keon Andre Fashion. I'm a business owner. I'm a MC. That's my passion, really, is music. But I've been so engulfed in building up this business that really haven't been in doing music as much as people would like me to do. And much as I love it and how free I feel when I am doing it. Like Opal said, I started DLK Printing in 2015. Started in my basement. Actually, I started in my living room. And it all started with me doing music, and I was outsourcing my clothing, my merchandise, and a good friend of mine, or mentor, as I should say now, had told me, hey, you can do this yourself. And I was like, oh, really? Show me how. And one thing led to another, and I bought my first piece of equipment, which I still use to this day. And it grew from there. I started having merchandise at my shows. People asked me who did my merchandise, and I told them me, and they started asking me, can you do mine? Right. And that's how this organically grew from my living room to me purchasing a house, doing it in my basement, to me moving into this brick and mortar 3 years ago. And in November, I would have been in here 2 years by myself.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. I currently have two full-time employees and 2 part-time employees. The journey hasn't been easy for me, but it's been amazing because I know that anything that's worth having is not going to be easy. And I didn't grow up in a traditional setting of parents who own businesses. So I had to, do a lot of research and ask a lot of questions and bump my head a lot and throughout the process. And I'm grateful for mentorship. I'm grateful for people I can go to for great counsel. I'm teachable. I think being coachable has been my biggest attribute, I think, to growing this business.
Yeah.
And so that's who I am. Business owner, a person who loves music. I was just on the stage the other day and I just felt so free.
Nice.
And people constantly tell me I have the it factor and they just don't understand. Like, it's just having a conversation just like right now when I'm on stage. So,
yeah. Nice.
With all those things that you've been involved in and how things have evolved, musically, business wise, do you have like a life philosophy or something that you cling to that has kind of been like a guiding light for you, for lack of a better term? Yeah, I know that's a soap opera. I don't know where that came from, but you know what I mean. Like some sort of life philosophy, something that's you've carried on throughout all the things that you've done.
Well, you'll never know it on stage, but just remain humble and stay coachable. Those are my biggest things that I live by. I think more coachable than humble, but yeah, coachable for sure.
Your experience in the music industry, have you found a lot of other people that have been coachable when it comes to music?
Yes. A lot of artists that I work with, a lot of people that I work with genuinely love the music. So it's a lot of people that I work with is not so much trendy artists.
Yeah. Right.
So they want to come up with concepts. We want to bounce ideas off each other. We want to get in the booth and do better than each other because it's a sport to us. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not pride. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you got me on that one. Yeah, okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, the people a lot of artists that I work with have been very coachable, and even some of the most arrogant artists that people probably would think, I've been in rooms with them, and it's been a real humble experience. So, yeah, yes, to answer your initial question.
I love that. I feel like coachable artists may be generational, but maybe some of the younger cats may fight me on that.
There's gonna be a few to fight you on that, but I agree. That coachable piece is huge though, because like I think especially like you said, you're someone who's seen and people tell you like you have that it factor, right? And then like you've been able to do so much stuff independently, not just with music, but also with your business. People assume that you're not, right? People assume that you get to a certain level and okay, this guy's great, but he's going to be hard to work with. So I think that's a key gem, I think, for our listeners to think about that, because that's something like in my life, whether it's work or something else, I always try to come with that, like I'm coachable, like, because you're not going to see that unless you actually work with it. So I do love that, Jim. One other piece I want you to elaborate on a little bit was the living room piece, right? When you said it started in my living room. So I've noticed this with myself and many other people, be it folks. I got a friend who has a fashion line. Hers was the same way. Like it went from this back room. And then when she put it in the living room, meaning that anybody who comes to my house, the cable man, the family, like I'm doing this. This is a dream. It looked crazy to you, but I'm doing this. I'm not trying to be cool no more. I'm trying to do this. What did that flip and switch look like for you? And did you have anybody in your life that came and said, "Man, what you doing? This your living room. What are you doing?"
Odd as it may seem, and I've always had support. It's and sad as it may sound, is people always seen something to me that I oftentimes haven't seen in myself. I was told to never really say this, and now that I purchased an industrial piece of equipment for like $1,300, and when I say I had support, my first 2 orders, profit paid for my machine. That's the type of support I've had from day one.
Right.
Yeah, I was told never to tell no one that because it's not that easy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not that easy. And I think over the years, I've built tons of relationships musically, personally.
Yeah.
I've worked a 9 to 5 with Opal, and I've done my best to not burn bridges.
Right.
Maybe some people would tell you differently, but I do my best to try to keep good rapport with people because I know everything comes full circle. I know everything that goes up comes down, and I think that's helped me even in my journey with this business I'm currently in. I haven't had a large marketing campaign. Most of my business has been word of mouth. And we stay busy every day. I can't wait to get this MBE certificate next month because I am ready to go to that next plateau.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm in probably about 800 square feet right now. Next month, we're moving into a space that's 3 times larger.
Dang. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I'm super excited for that expansion because I have the opportunity to purchase land or a building for my business right now. I don't want to jump right into that. I think we need another year or so of expanding and really seeing what we need and all the pieces and people that we need to expand to that level. So I am happy that we get to triple our square footage next month, and we get to bring some more equipment in here and be able to do a lot more in-house, to supplement that extra monthly rent and things of that nature. But I'm excited for the growth. My sister preaches expansion. And I don't know if y'all see that DLK.
That's a beautiful signage.
That's beautiful.
Those are my kids' initials. So we all about legacy and expansion over here. So.
Nice. That's awesome. That's incredibly impressive. Fabulous. Yeah.
Thank you.
So your business is in the process of expansion and scaling up even more. What could you tell some of our listeners that may be just starting out and it's just them? They are the business. How do they get to a point, or what are the most important things they need to do to get to a point where they can say, hey, I now need to add that employee, need to add that second employee, I need more space? What are the things that really helped you to know that it's time to take that next step to expand and scale your business?
Well, first, I'll tell them to believe in themselves. Most people don't believe most people will never believe in you like you believe in yourself. Most people won't see your vision or your dream because usually that's something internal, right? It's put on paper or something like that. I knew that it was time for me to expand when I was working 20 hours a day. You know what I mean? I was here, some nights when the sun went down and, was still here when the sun was coming up. I would, and at first, the crazy part about the business is I hate that I'm saying this on record, but I didn't take it as serious as I should have initially. It was a side thing for me, even though I was pouring my monies into it. I wasn't really taking it as serious as I should have. As I started to grow over the last 18 months, maybe 20 months, I used to share the space that I'm in. And when he moved out, it kind of clicked like, hey, you're responsible for all the rent. You're responsible for all the utilities. You know what I mean? For all the Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Things kind of clicked. I was supposed to move in with my old person I used to share this space with, and I'm happy I didn't because it forced me to grow up. It forced me to grow into a more a businessman and not just a self-employed hobby. That's how I was treating it. You know what I mean? So when I start to look at it as a businessman, then I start to see like, okay, it's cool when I was in the house and I can wear all the hats and all this different stuff. But now it's like, okay, it's time to go to that next level. I need somebody to help me with admin. I need somebody to help me with production. I need someone to help me with graphic design. I'm not a graphic designer, and I can't keep relying on my mentors because they're running a business.
Right.
And relying on them would put me a day or two behind when if I had someone in house, I could reply same day. I mean, get artwork approval, send out an estimate and or invoice within the same 8-hour shift instead of waiting 2 or 3 days.
Right.
So yeah, when I realized that I needed help to be able to reply faster and just get a quicker response and to get things done quicker, my turnover time, my turnaround time to be quicker as well. So what I would tell people is growth is not comfortable. I know it sounds cliche, and I watch a lot of motivational speakers who talk about that stuff, and it's okay to share the money, you know what I mean? Because if you share the money, it's going to come back. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, I've been having to weather some storms lately from my lack of knowledge and things of that nature, but it's okay because I'm learning. And I go to a lot of conferences. Well, pre-pandemic, I used to go to a lot of conferences, apparel printing and things like that, which was super cool. That was super helpful. That was my school. Once the pandemic came, there's a printing company across town that people will probably see as my competition. They don't really know those are my mentors. They don't know that they're like, hey, we're over here, we're good. We want you to take over that side of town. And I probably spent as much money with them over the pandemic as I would have spent with MATC or UW. So it's like I kind of paid to go to school.
Right.
And you know, they share their resources. They're like most people wouldn't even know these guys are like an open book with me. And my graphic designer came from another printing company. He's like, there's no way that they share this information with you. There's no way they are like, there's no way they do what they just did for me. And he said this probably like on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And it's I don't know, it was God sent, you know what I mean? And I think between me and other people who I deal with who've went over there and tried to work with them, they really seen that I was passionate about it. They really seen that I was putting my money where my mouth was. And they just seen I was a genuine person. And I think that's where, I mean, we not only printing, these guys came to my house and cut down trees in my yard. Like, we've got report. And I'd be like, you know, I was told that cost $500. They was like, give me a 6-pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
But these are the relationships that I've been growing. Oh, I think I've been rocking with them almost 4 years at the end of this year now.
That's awesome. Yeah, like that's one thing too that I've heard, because I'm like you, I'm always trying to learn. I'm trying to, if something I want to do, I'm going to study the hell out of the 10 best people in the world that are doing it. So I'm very similar to you in that way. So yeah, you just can't do it alone. And you do have that favor when you say a godsend. I'm like, absolutely. I think when you are focused and you're doing what you're supposed to do, people reach in for you, and it makes people like you and do things for you that they shouldn't. So I love to hear that, because when you're talking about you're thriving and expanding, especially as a Black man in Madison, Wisconsin, like where everyone else is connected, I can only imagine, but I can see that coming through for you. One thing I would say about like I just think your personal brand is like, you're about your business. You come through, you follow through, you're going to do excellent work. So I love to see that you're being embraced in those ways, because that's not always the case. But I think you dropped some great gems for folks who are starting out and want to be able to kind of model that. So yes, absolutely. Listen up, follow what he's saying, because it takes time, but it can work. So tell us what a day in the life looks like for you now, as you're expanding and you've got employees, and what does it look like? As it's 7 p.m. and
everybody wants me to be on the clock 24/7. So I had to learn boundaries, right? So that was something I had to learn, because I listened to you know, people who are millionaires and some of their regrets and things of that nature. And a lot of them, some of them don't have any regrets, but some of them talk about, you know, not taking advantage of spending time with their family and missing time with their family. So that's one thing I had to take hold of. It's like, okay, at this time on these days, I'm done. You know what I mean? Because you miss out on your family and you can mess up your personal relationship with your significant other too. So, you know, some people are understanding, some people are not, you know.
Right.
Hold on, what was your question? Ask me one more time. Oh, I just lost track. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying what a day in the life.
Oh, a day in the life.
That's why you lost track, because the day of your life. You probably had a text coming out. You think like, okay, I got to do something as soon as I get up off this podcast.
Yeah. So a day, ideally, I'm up at like 5:30, 6. I like to like read for at least 30 minutes. Sometimes I might read for 10 minutes. If I get what I needed out of those first few paragraphs, sometimes I grab something. I'm okay, that was it. That was my message for the day. I don't need to read the whole chapter. You know what I mean? So I like to get up early. You know, I'm still getting kids up and out to school. I still like to be able to, because like I said, I'm working. So I at least want to see you off to school, communicate with you, see how your day going. I still pick my kids up after school most days, at least my oldest that's still in school. That's 12 now. But and then I'm at the office. Boom. I'm the first one. I'm usually the first one here, and I'm usually the last one to leave still on most days. I get in here. I try to give my first hour returning phone calls and emails. That's what I try to do in the first hour and a half. By the time my employees get here, we try to go over our docket for the day and week. Mondays, usually we go over it for the week. And then every day we try to hammer out what's going on, what's new and what's being scratched off. I'm the only one who's currently here running our embroidery machine. So I'm right there too. I'm knocking out embroidery orders. Ametria, well, she doesn't like to be called that. Misha is our production manager here. So she's doing all the stuff in our production room. Terrence is our graphic designer. Nice. So I'm just communicating with them. I try my best not to just run in there and ask questions. I try to send them emails, even though we're in the same space. So I'm not interrupting their workflow. Nice. More often than not, I'm interrupting them. Because I want my question answered immediately. And they're pretty cool with that. And then towards the end of the day, I usually try to give between noon and 2 if I can. That's when I try to set my meetings. So I can dedicate certain time to answering calls and emails, certain times to production, certain times to meeting. And then towards the end of the day, more production if needed in the embroidery room. And then between 4 and 5, I like to order inventory, make sure that Misha usually puts everything in the carts with our vendors, and I just do a once over for QC, just a little quality control, making sure that everything that we have everything and we didn't miss anything. And we both like to. A big thing here is at least 2 people need to sign off on things. I don't care if it's packaging up products to send out to customers, ordering things. I just like a double stamp on things. So we just holding each other accountable because we do have a small team. We just have to be on top of it because it's so easy for things to slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I'm off to go pick my daughter up from school. Most times I will bring her back here because we also, not only do we do printing in-house, we run web stores for a lot of our clients. A lot of people on like TikTok. We got 2 of our biggest clients are on TikTok that I met through a third party. These guys, it's crazy. These guys put up one of my guys put up a different hashtag every week. And that specific hashtag has 190 to 250,000 views a week. So they're getting 1 million views a month, like organically. Yeah, it's crazy. And that guy's store is simple. He was my guinea pig for doing web stores. Right. And we've been rocking for like 18 months.
Nice.
So I'm usually here in the evenings, packaging up final products, having my daughter help me, having my son help me. And then we're hitting, the post office that is 5 minutes away before they close at 7.
Right.
Nice. That's dope. That might be my favorite day in the life yet. Like I love that. I love I'm gonna straight up steal your blocking thing. Like when you was like, I come in and I was like, I need to freaking do that. I need to do the returning the phone calls and the emails, bro. I need to block it because otherwise, you know what I'm doing? I'm always on the side putting out somebody fire in an email. So I appreciate that. I like that. That helps me understand why you're so effective. That's dope. I like that. Yeah, it's my favorite day in the life.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just trying to juggle it all. It's hard. You can't do it all. Right. So that goes back to boundaries. And I learned that from my graphic designer because he came here and he was like, bro, I don't know how you do what you're doing. You don't have a workflow. You don't have work orders. It's all in your head. How are you doing this? And I was like, I just learned the function like this. And he was like, thanks for hiring me. We about to get this together for you.
Nice.
Because that's not it, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So once again, I just want to say, not only am I coachable, I'm eager to learn. I can learn from anybody, my son, somebody I hire, all of that. And I think that's been one of my biggest attributes, like not thinking I know it all, no big eyes, no little U's. We just in this together.
Right. So, man, I got a bunch of questions. I got to stick with one right now. I'm like off of that. Oh, I want to ask this. But I think bridging off of what you just said. So I know I've come across in my time in music, a lot of people that have tried to do music and then get into either some sort of screen printing or designing.
Okay.
I noticed when before we started and I asked you for your socials, you specifically gave me Instagram, TikTok, which are not necessarily social medias that, you look like a young guy, but I'm gonna just assume it may not be in your generation. How have you been able to use and take advantage of these two platforms with your screen printing, with your printing business? And I know that you were talking about the web stores, but I'm hoping maybe for some of those young up and comers, there may be some jewels you can drop them, because the way you are utilizing it and the effectiveness you're having with it has been different from what I've seen from other people who are of the generation of TikTok and Instagram. So if you could speak to how you're using it so effectively and why you're using it, that would be great.
So Instagram, and I hate to be a downer on this one, but Instagram was my Instagram was initially being ran by my nephew.
Okay.
My nephew unfortunately passed away like 4 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry
to hear that.
Yeah, and then 2 years later, my brother, which was his dad, which is crazy, right? And then this year, his dad. So like we didn't have some in reverse order: grandson, son, dad, right? So, my nephew was like an Instagram guru. Like he'll get you 10,000, 20,000 organic followers in a week.
Dang.
And he was cold. And when he passed away, I still have that page, but I don't have access to it. I can't get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he had made me another page and had got me a lot of followers. So I just started using that page. And people was just telling me, like, you got to stay on Instagram. That's what's popular. That's what's popping. And so I did. And everybody's on there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's on there. And it's a great way to market. Sorry, y'all. I'm multitasking.
No, this is good. Keep this story because we're going to talk about what you're doing in a minute for sure.
It's a great way to market. And it's a great way to stay in tune. It's a great way to see what's new and what's current. And it's a great way for you to stay in the loop, right? So that's why I stay on Instagram, TikTok. I just got on there recently. Like I said, I got a 12-year-old who's probably like,
Yeah.
my dad's on TikTok. Let me show you how to work this. I didn't know how to work it, and I'm still learning. But like I said, one of my clients is super huge on TikTok,
Right.
and I haven't taken advantage of them yet because I guess TikTok is a platform that really hasn't been. It's not like YouTube where they got a grasp of it. It's still fairly new, where you can monetize and you can really take advantage of it. One of my clients was that client I just told y'all about. Was like, dude, what are you waiting for? Send us the music. We'll make you famous. And I believe them.
Right.
I know they will.
Yeah.
I know they will. So I'm just trying to. Sorry, y'all. Y'all catching me in rare form.
Nah, this is awesome.
Right.
Trying to thread this needle, and I can't see that needle hole without these goggles.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, our YouTube viewers are gonna be able to see this, but for our folks who are listening on Audible or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, this man Keon is legit working right now. So he is on one of these printing machines. I'm guessing it's the embroidery one because I see some of the thread, but he has really got it going now. We just got a nice little tour of his business as well. Oh wow,
that machine is beautiful.
Nice, real nice. Oh,
that's it. So in my off time, I get to make cool stuff for my family. That's a denim jacket I'm customizing with my logo for my nephew. Yeah. So y'all got a tour of the spot a little bit.
Oh, that's what's up.
For anybody else who watching, that's a custom portrait from my from Brooklyn. You know,
nice.
Jink's daughter. You know Opal Jinx? Greg Dobie?
Greg.
So yeah, that's a custom piece from her. It's called Honey Tears. Yeah. So I don't buy prints. I like to buy the real things before they go famous.
Appreciates.
Yeah. So this is one of our production rooms. Got Benji back there to keep everybody focused. I came in here to grab my charger before. Yeah, I am legit working, you guys. I never stop working.
That's awesome. That's real too. That's real too. Like people, you know, often have the conception that like if I work for myself, I won't really have to work. Well, you gonna work harder. You will have some freedoms, but you're gonna be working more than anyone else. So you talked about kids going down to the post office, so they're involved, right, helping you get packages out, and then your nephew helped you with social media. So yeah, just you said you had support. Wondering about the family aspect and the support of your family with that, and then also like thinking for the future. Are your kids want to be business owners? Do they have any interest? Do you have kind of dreams of passing it down to them, or what's the plan?
That's a great question. One of my nieces helps me out a lot. She's part of the Young CEOs program.
Oh, sweet.
She's very interested in her own brand. She actually has a pop-up shop on the 25th.
Nice. Oh, wow.
She's actually really involved. She likes to be in here. She likes to be hands-on. She likes to, obviously she's in the Young CEOs program. So she's been learning every aspect of running a business from marketing to production, just every facet to the financial part of it and everything. My son is more of a, he's a techie guy. He's never really was into sports. He's really into computers. Some things I asked him, I'd just be lost, and I asked him, and I got a full-blown summary in 3 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
He's been coming over here helping me. His thing is over here. It's a high risk, high reward type of job. If you do a great job, you get all the applause in the world. If you mess something up, oh my God, like
Right.
man, it's touchy over here. So it just depends on what it is. But he's been helping me with one of the services that I had to outsource for. I brought a software called so when you have to do embroidery, you have to digitize the logo. It's one step past vector. I know a lot of people are familiar with a vector file or like AI file, Adobe Illustrator, or like a high resolution PNG or something like that. So it's a step further when you do embroidery. You have to digitize the file, which lets the machine know how many stitches, how many stops,
Mm.
and things of that nature. So I bought this software. I was like, man, look, what do you like to do? You like to video editing? You like to graphic design? Come over here and shadow my guy.
Right.
And you also, I was like, well, what about this? And he was like, yeah, I can figure that out. Wait, for real? Like, you know how much a month I'm spending on this?
Right.
Get over here. So now I got him that software like a month ago, but he went to Florida with his mom, but he figured it out.
Nice.
And he's good at it. And I've never seen a kid smile as much as he did when I complimented him on that. And it's crazy because sometimes and he's not a bad kid at all. First of all, let me put that out there. It's crazy. You can be so hard on your kids, you don't realize it. And all they want is your approval. My son, all he wants is just my approval. And he's super intelligent. You know, I graduated from high school last year. I gave him a year off. That's it. You're done after this year off. You know what I mean? That's it. So he's going to school this year. He's going for graphic design and video editing. I just want him to learn the education. I don't want you to just keep bumping your heads. It's cool to learn on your own, but there's so many other things you can get educated in, and you can just go until you feel like you reach your plateau. You good with associate's degree and some other certifications, and you're able to make what you want to make or start your company. Great. If you want to go get your bachelor's, cool. But you have to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's cool that you don't have no felonies or no kids. Yeah, that's awesome. You know what I mean? At 19. You know? But you got to do something. You know what I mean? And he works with his mom. His mom has a company, and so he has two entrepreneur parents. And his mom, he does a lot of video editing commercials for his mom as well, and he's good at it. So my daughter's 12, so she kind of knows what she wants to do, but at 12, some people know, some people don't. So will they go into entrepreneurship? I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. My son, biggest thing, he wants to monetize his hobbies. I said, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Sounds good.
If anybody can, it's this generation, though.
Facts.
So I want to take a step back from where things are and dive a little bit into how you got to this point. And just because I'm curious and nosy, I actually kind of want to know about that 9 to 5 that y'all shared. And did anything that happened, whether it was at a job or through the music, that helped prepare you for the journey as an entrepreneur?
So the job just taught me how to be consistent. The one thing about working a 9 to 5 that I have a family member who just told me this the other day, right? He was like, man, he has a roofing company. He's down in Atlanta, Georgia. And when he quit his job a couple years ago, and he got a couple contracts, and then he got lazy, and now he's back at his 9 to 5. And he's kicking himself in the butt because he's like, man, I can get up for this 9 to 5 every day. But for my own business, I got lazy and I didn't want to get up and work my own business. Right. But I'll come punch a clock for somebody else, have to listen to them, work for them, work for their schedule, and make less than I was making, but I'll get up and do it for them. So I learned from other people. I'm like, okay, damn, I might need to get up and extra. But, it was crazy because when I used to work with Opal back at Sitel, right, Opal?
Yeah.
I walked in my boss's office and told her, hey, man, this is my last 2 weeks. Like, I'm cold. Like, I'm a dope artist. I'm cold at rapping. I'm going to make it.
Right.
I'm done. And I did what my cousin did. I got out here and I got overly cocky and with not with the public, with my inner circle,
Mm.
with my team, with some people on my team, and I had allowed somebody in who didn't mesh well with what was already working, and I got distracted by the things I was involved in, vices or whatever, and that ultimately led to me not taking advantage of real opportunities I had at the time, which super sucked,
right?
Because, and it's still a spot for me right now. It's still a place for me right now. I just feel like I could have a real decade in the game right now, with real, with real hits and different stuff like that. But that's either here or there. You know what I mean? If that's what's meant for me, it happened. But yeah, so a 9 to 5 did teach me you got to be consistent. You got to get up, and you got to put the work in. And I think that's what a 9 to 5 taught me, to answer.
What about the music side? Because to me, the music is entrepreneurial in itself, because many times there's so many different hats that you have to wear. Is there anything in that journey that prepared you, or was the lesson learned that you were able to apply now, now that you have the entrepreneurship, you have the business?
Do your research. Learn the business. Whatever business it is that you want to take part in, you need to learn it. You need to do the homework. And that's what the music business taught me, that it is a business. You have passion for it, but if you want to take it to that next plateau and you want to monetize it, it is a business.
Right.
For sure.
I hope people are taking that one home instead of just grabbing an interface and a laptop and saying, I'm in the business.
I mean, I just found out somebody locally here has 25 million streams of their music.
Yep.
And they can't even get any money from it. You know what I'm talking about too, don't you?
Yep, I do.
Because they didn't register the music right.
Damn.
Not even registered. So that money's just sitting there. It's crazy, Corey, huh? You heard the same story?
Yeah. It's wild. But yeah, this is what you said. You got to research the business. It's not,
you do.
Yes, the creativity part of it is very important. You got to be marketable. But at the same time, you got to know how to collect your money and the things that you got to do to make that happen.
Yeah. 1,000%. So my bad, bro. I mean, you over there like, wow.
But no, that's a good example. An example right in our own backyard.
Facts. Yep. Yeah. So, and that's another thing people don't understand neither. You don't have to go to another market to monetize our music either.
Right.
No, especially now. And there's just a lot of resources out there to teach you, to help you, to bridge any gaps that you have too. So yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. So like I said, when I was searching online for you, I could not find like a bio. But what I did find was so many testimonials for your business, right? So when you talk about, learning your craft and understanding, your customer service must be top notch. So did any of that come from 9 to 5? Did that come from lessons learned? Where did that come from? And what are some of your principles around that? Because you have some amazing testimonies. You got some testimonies you can't buy. Nice.
That definitely came from my 9 to 5. As you know, we worked in customer service. We worked in sales. Most of my jobs were in sales or customer service, except my last job that I had before I became an entrepreneur. Customer service. I realized working for other people that customer service was like key for your business. Like you got to treat people how you want to be treated. You have to under promise and over deliver.
Right.
And as much as you want to be right, even when you're right, the customer is right. I live and die by that model. Sometimes I've taken complete losses living by that model, but at the same token, it kept my business with a good name. So sometimes I've had to break even. Sometimes I've taken jobs that other people wouldn't take. And I've done that also because someone believed in me and took on my small jobs when I wasn't doing this. So I try to remember that always, like, you weren't always capable of, getting 100 shirts done in 90 minutes front and back.
Damn, that's your standard?
We got a little metric over here.
Nice.
You said something that's key that I think used to be something that was kind of well known, and I think that's kind of fallen by the wayside, and that's that customer is always right. And you mentioned, reputation. How important is reputation in your business, in the type of business that you do? I say that because in this day and age of social media, where it seems like anything flies, I feel that people that are entering into business are not putting enough weight on that reputation. And as you said, your work precedes you. So how important has that been? And as you alluded to, what have you done to make sure to try and keep that known reputation?
Well, as we all know, we live in a cancel culture. Now, you know what I mean? And like Charlemagne says a lot, a lie is more entertaining than the truth.
That's true.
So somebody can say anything, whether it's true or not. And more than most likely, before somebody gets the facts, they're going to run with that story because it's entertaining, right? Excuse me. Reputation for me is really important. How I've been able to keep it. Like I said, I think the most important thing that not most important, but a real important thing that we do over here is we're really transparent. Like, I try to be honest with my customers. Hey, I know I told you 7 to 10 days is our turnaround. I mean, it's a pandemic. Shipping and handling is a little different. I called UPS with you on 3-way so you can hear what I'm going through. I shot my chat with customer service so you can see this is real. Like, this is not me calling you out. This is not me needing your 50% down to take Robin Peter to pay Paul. That's not how we operate over here. Right. So I think being transparent has helped my reputation be what it is currently, and just being honest. Right. I think that's really important, and the fact that people can come to where I am and see that, see me and touch me and feel me. Very true. Is it makes them really a lot more comfortable. Because, a lot of people, because I'm in printing, right? A lot of people, the first thing they do is go right online and they look up custom ink. Something like that. And it's really user friendly, and you can do a lot of the cool things, but you also can't reach out and touch these people. Right. You also may only want to get 12 shirts, but for the type of shirt that you're trying to get done, they got a 48 minimum. You know what I mean? Depending on the style of shirt, how many colors is in your design, all these things matter. So when I went and did my price sheet, I'm gonna go see what my customers doing. My competition is doing. I'm gonna see what they offer. You know what I mean? So I can be competitive, and also people know, like, hey, this is the norm. Like, you might pay $1 extra per shirt over here, but you also don't have to get 48 of them. Right. You know what I mean? And you can come ride down on me and pick them up. You don't have to rely on USPS or UPS or none of those guys. So I just think being accessible, being honest, and being transparent has helped me keep the reputation that I currently have.
Renaissance man.
Right.
It's the lost. It just feels like the lost art.
It does.
And even trying to contact people for customer service, you can't barely get through anything. It's like 10 minutes, 5 minutes of automation. And then after that, you waiting. And it's like, as busy as people are, nobody has time for that. I need to get to somebody and get some answers. and move on.
That's a good fact that you brought up too, and I think that is what people appreciate too, like being able to reach me. I'm accessible.
Right.
Yeah.
So we run web stores for people, and I think they're surprised when they call, like a human answers. And then not only does a human answer, we got an answer for you.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, I've called you, and I can get off the phone in 3 minutes, and my stuff is resolved."
Yeah.
Oh man, hey, y'all are good with me. Take your time. Thank you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think that's what it is. Just being accessible. I think that's the key to it nowadays. Like you said, man, you be on phone for 20 minutes before you can get to an agent. I'm like, agent. Agent.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean? So,
not in the country. No, nothing actually about your order. Just looking up information on the computer and still don't give you the answer. Well, it says here, but that's not what it is.
no, I could have looked that up and didn't have to wait 30 minutes to speak to you for the information that was given. So
Right. Facts. So how, you've grown so much and continue to it's, coming out of, but still a pandemic. Inflation is high, possible recession on, on the brink that we're seeing that we're going towards, but you've still been able to thrive. So is it that being able that you serve this niche, right, of people who might have small businesses themselves who are saying, like you said, like I got a staff of 12, we need 12 polos, right? We don't need 48. Is it the niche piece, or what are some of the other things that have really allowed you to thrive when many businesses have closed, many small businesses have closed over the past year and a half?
I think key is my relationships and my support. Like I said, I used to share this office with another person. James Sutton, he owns Smart Cleaning Solutions. He owns Judy's carpet cleaning. People who do, and he also coaches. So any other businesses that he knows who need stuff, he sends them my way. He coaches a sports team, Playground Elite, one of the biggest, I think, AAU programs. Probably in Wisconsin. They're based out of Milwaukee. They started out with women. I think every female who's gone through that program has got a college scholarship. I think like Jordan Poole, Tyler Hero, like just to name a few people who came through this program. And I just linked up with Coach Money. That's funny. That's his last name. Coach Money, maybe like 4 months ago. And like these are the type of people I'm linking up with. And it's like, okay, now we're going to go through you for now on. And they got teams in Milwaukee lacrosse, and now they just got teams in Madison. So people like Sabrina, like the Progress Center for Black Women. People be like, oh, that's the Progress Center for Black Women. Nah, like they rocking with men too. So like when they first opened, I used to donate to them for like the first 3 years. I took my daughter over there so she can see Black women doing things and be able to utilize their space. And lo and behold, she's doing amazing things in this city on multiple boards. And now she extends herself and her resources out to me like none before. And I love her attitude. I love how she battles for goes to bat for people like me and look like me. And like I said, I think it's the relationships. So, and bringing and people have been bringing resources to me that I didn't even know were readily available. And I think that's a huge thing. My buddy Carlton Thompson from Milwaukee Jobs, who just hit me up today, like these are the people and the relationships and the organizations that I'm working with. And they keep me here and they keep me busy. I think Sabrina just emailed me today, like, oh, I need another 50 shirts. You know what I mean? Like, and I really, people don't know. I appreciate the 12. I appreciate the 50. I appreciate it all, because what I do know that there is competition, and I do know nobody has to spend a dime with me. So when people help me reach my monthly and weekly and daily goals, I'm grateful. And I think that's another thing that helps, because I'm full of gratitude every day. You know what I mean? So
I heard that. Yeah, shout out to Sabrina. She is doing amazing things within our city and beyond. She's one of the first Black spaces that you could just be in, like, right. I remember when she first opened her first Progress Center, because she too is expanded, right?
Yes.
And moved. But when she first opened the one in Fitchburg, just going there, because she used to have these co-worker days where it was just like, before working remote, it was like, come work at Progress Centers. I was like, hell yeah, got my laptop. Let me go be. And she had her shoes off, and it was just a beautiful space, and it was hers, right? There was no code switching, but still totally professional. But it was hers, and I was like, this is it. This is it. So let's take a little moment to celebrate that we have more of these Black spaces, right? That's why I'm so impressed. Like I keep saying brick and mortar for you, but that's why. So people, right, grown folks and kids can come in and just be like, this is a Black space owned by a Black professional business owner. And we didn't have those growing up. I'm from Madison. We didn't have those when I was growing up at all.
Right.
So kudos to y'all. Yeah, hell yeah. There's so many of y'all doing some amazing, beautiful things, changing the landscape for the better, I think.
And my
10%.
Just to piggyback that, and I think my graphic designer, when he first, because somebody introduced me to him, and he just came over here and he was just like, okay, he ain't got it all together, but I'm comfortable over here. You know what I mean? And I can help him over here, and we've been growing together, and I think that was the biggest thing. Like he came over here and he was like, okay, dang, that's Miles Davis. Okay, that's Teddy Pendergrass. Cool over here. Some great. Oh, wait a second. Like so this is definitely, like you said, it's an unconventional workspace, but it's definitely professional. Like we definitely have structure, we definitely have expectations, but we just want to be comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, there ain't no code. Well, they say I code switch. I don't know. Maybe I just unintentional. You know what I mean? I'm working in customer service all my life. I used to have a headset on. Somebody comes on, click. Oh, how you doing? Hey. I just do it. You know what I mean?
I'm the same.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's a skill set, I guess.
Right. Do you think that that unconventional way of operating in business, do you think that's going to be more of the new trend, especially with this next generation entering the workforce? I know when I was working, it was the not a minute late. Oh, make sure you're looking like this. You're coming in, you're talking like this, you're doing this, and you doing X, Y, and Z 9 all the way up until 5. And do you think that that's going to be kind of the new wave, especially with all those people that they call the Great Resignation, all the people that removed themselves from that workforce? Is that where things are trending, do you think?
I think so. I think most kids going to be going to work looking like Mark Zuckerberg in the Facebook movie. Like, just super relaxed and comfortable, but productive. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think, post-pandemic, they have that option too now. It's like, oh, like you don't accept me for who I am. That's cool. I don't have to work for you. So I think the employee has allowed their voice now to demand some of the things they want. So that's why I try to make sure that my space is comfortable, it's inviting. We have weekly meetings, like I said, not only go over the docket, but we got a steady, ever-changing workflow. Like what works, what doesn't work.
Right.
You know what, man, your vibe was off. Hey, is there something we need to talk about?
Right.
And you feel some type of way, and I make it to where people can be like, yeah, man, I didn't like what you said and how you said it. And I'm like, okay, you being sensitive, or was my approach really like that?
Right.
I'm having a bad day, so I got to digest that and be like, you know what? Okay, maybe that was the case. You know what I mean? And we're able to talk things through. And the next thing we got Anita Baker on, or
right,
a baby or somebody, and
right.
Everybody's back being productive. So I think to answer your question, yes, I feel like this is where things are going, whether it's in the corporate space. As you can see, a lot of the large corporations are selling those big buildings.
Yeah.
And most people are even working from home now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to get somebody to come into a space, you're going to have to make it comfortable, and you're going to have to make it to where they have things that they need. Like Google has started that a while back,
Right.
with the comfortable workspace where there's the playroom, the game room, or the exercise room, or the lounge, or whatever. It's not just a regular break room. You know what I mean? So, so to answer your question, yes, I think that's trending up for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, track jackets. That's how I work now. You're gonna have to pay. You have to pay a lot of money to get me to put on some dress pants or dress 5 days a week. Like it'd be 7 figures that it will require for me to do that every day. So I agree with you. The corporate space has changed, and we're more productive. That's what all data has shown. We are more productive this way. Now, granted, I got to give a presentation. You're going to see me in a blazer. But when I'm just really putting my head down, like I should be able to wear the stuff. So I think you're absolutely right. And especially younger folks, like they already wasn't going for that. They was already like coming in a few years back, like, do we have to come in every day? And then if they did come in, they're like, I'm not sitting at this desk. I'm going to move all around. I'm going to be in the cafeteria. I'm going to be over here. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That is the vibe, to make sure that you've got a space that is real and that is set. So I love that. I love that insight to see that that's corporate, but also in smaller businesses and growing businesses as well.
Right. So we have the luxury of obviously making our own attire every day. So like I tell them, hey, look, I don't care what y'all do. I mean, yeah, we got some, extra inventory. Take whatever you want. Just put DLK printing on it and put it on.
Right.
And so now they get this is what I'm comfortable in. This is what I like. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me grab a couple more of those. And it's different color. You know what I mean? Because now I kind of like letting them pick their work attire, and it's cool. As long as it got the DLK on it, I'm fine.
That's dope. I love that work perk. Yeah. That's tight right there. Yeah. For sure.
For sure.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time, the time we were pulling you away that you probably didn't have, as we saw, but we loved having the tour of the facility. So we appreciate that. We always love to ask our guests if they have book recommendations for other people to dive into. We're always sharing books and things that we may be reading or read in the past. Do you have any recommendations for the audience?
Well, somebody just left with one of my book. I think it was Powernomics. Is it Powernomics? A Random Walk Down Wall Street. My favorite book, which is kind of like the Bible to me right now, is what's his name? Oh, Claude Anderson. So that's Powernomics, right? By Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson. Let me be clear. But my Bible right now, and it's probably more on some personal development, but it also correlates with business development, is the 4 Agreements.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's come up a few times. Too. Yes.
Yeah. I wake up and go to sleep to that one. That book is slowly but surely changing my life in a great way. And I just keep sharing it with people. I'm grateful for the people that introduced. You know what? Somebody I worked out with. Matter of fact, my graphic designer gave me that book.
Awesome. Oh, okay.
Nice.
So, man, like I said, we try to share ideas, experiences. We try. I mean, we're in the same space, 7 hours a day. So it's kind of hard not to get personal. Try not to get too personal, but we're able to talk around here. But yeah, we try to share and encourage and just uplift each other. And it's a pretty great environment. I can't wait to add some more couple people. I think when we expand, and it's just got to be the right people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, it feels like I'm the only person who hasn't read 4 Agreements. So
You haven't read it. You got to read it. I've read it a few times
because it keeps coming up. And I'm like, I got to read it. Haven't read it.
Does everybody say that? Does everybody say that?
Lots of folks. Yeah.
It's come up a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So when I get off on here, I'm putting it in the Audible. That's gonna be first task.
Bruh.
Yeah, and it's not that thick either. It's a great one. Yeah.
And I think they got the 5th Agreements out now, right?
Yep. I read the 5th too. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I keep this book in my laptop bag. I read it on planes, trains, and automobiles. This book right here is my favorite. I tried to introduce it to my daughter. She didn't want to read it. She was going through some stuff, and I was just like, "Ooh, if you just read this and comprehend,
Right.
don't take things personal.
Yes.
Don't assume.
That one.
Right.
Be impeccable with your speech.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And always do your best."
Yes.
These are things to live by.
Facts.
Then the scenarios that relate.
Yeah.
The relatable scenario, you like, oh man, come on, man. What are we talking about right now? If it's up to me, I will read.
Right.
I will read something out of this in my morning, whether I read it or not, and as a reminder, just as a refresher. This book is changing my life slowly but surely.
I love that. I love that.
Now that's an endorsement,
right? Right? Miguel Ruiz should give you a little money off of that one because
yeah, that's one of this is one of my favorites for sure.
Man, well, we appreciate that. We're gonna throw this website up one more time. Make sure to go and check out the website, DLK-printing.com, and make sure to follow not only on the IG but on the TikTok at DLK Printing. Follow them both. Don't do one. Do both.
Do both, baby. But like I said before, my nephew had my other DLK page popping. Right. So I got the new one. It's not as many followers. I'm trying to get more content on there. Right. And that's the cool thing about having the younger guy in here. You know, he reminds me every day, hey man, you got to post something. You got to post something.
Right.
You do too much work. You know what I mean? Every day you should have something. So I mean, I have probably like 30 days worth of stuff currently that I can just post something new every day.
Nice.
So every day I make a new TikTok video. Every day I make a new something. I take photos because by the grace of God, we're doing something new every day. So it's cool.
That's what's up. Nice. That's what's up. Well, we appreciate you joining us today and taking the time out. For our listeners, you already know you can hit us up on the link tree. You can get all the links to all the past podcasts from Black Currency. Make sure to, if you're looking for the visual, youtube.com/radio22. And you can follow us on IG too. We do a little something on IG. A little something on IG.
We're going to follow y'all on IG.
Black Currency Podcast.
Keep that link up real quick. Oh, Black Currency. Yeah, let me go follow you. I don't want to be that guy, you know.
But other than that, we thank you, and we thank all of our listeners for following us and participating. Plenty jewels in here, plenty jewels.
Thanks.
And if y'all don't be like me and be the last one to get the book before agreements. Y'all have heard it consistently over. He just hammered it home with the best endorsement yet. So don't sleep on the book. We should be getting proceeds for that. Make sure to check that out as well.
I'm not getting paid for nothing from you. So imagine that. You know what I mean? So that says a lot about the author and the research and the time he put into this thing because it's
incredible.
Yeah.
And then make your way over to DLK Printing and say hello.
That's right.
Where you can actually talk to somebody in person and they can smile back at you.
Big facts.
Big facts. All right, everybody. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace.
See you. Peace.
Ain't you sick of giving me your money? Oh, I know he didn't do it, baby. Whoa, where you going? No, I'm about to go make these trouble.